In this chapter, you get a problem like this one. The problem gives you a set of information and you have to find the missing information, the amount of units that started and completed this period. And the information that it provides you is that the mixing department received 60 gallons from the material department. During the period, the mixing department completed 62 gallons, including 5,000 gallons of work in process at the beginning of the period. The ending work in process is 3,000 gallons. And it asks you how many gallons is started and completed this period. There are two ways to obtain the answer. First, you know 62,000 gallons was completed and transferred out. And if 62,000 gallons was completed, when there is 5,000 in work in process at the beginning of the period, then taking 62,000 minus 5,000 will get you 57,000 that is started and completed this period, and 57,000 is the answer. Alternatively, you know that 60,000 gallons was started in the period. This 60,000 gallons was received from the material department. If 60,000 gallons was started during the period, and there is 3,000 of gallons in ending work in process inventory, is 57,000 gallons. 60,000 gallons minus 3,000 is 57,000. Let's recap. If you have 5 gallons in beginning work in process inventory and there is 62,000 gallons that was completed and transferred out to another department, then that means that you have 57,000 gallons that was started and completed during this period. So the 5,000 gallons in the beginning inventory plus the 57,000 gallons that started and completed during this period, that totals 62,000 gallons that was completed and transferred out. So the beginning plus what was started and completed this period equals the total completed and transferred out. Then you have the 3,000 gallons in the ending work in process inventory. The 62,000 gallons that was completed and transferred out plus the 3,000 gallons that's in ending work in process inventory, that's a total of 65,000 gallons in grand total. The total units of gallons accounted for, 65,000 gallons. The problem gives us the information that 60,000 gallons was started in the period. This is different from completed and transferred out. Completed and transferred out again is the beginning plus what was started and completed in the period. So started and completed during the period is 57,000 gallons. Started in the period is 60,000 gallons. This is started in the period. It doesn't mean that it's completed. It just means that it started. So what was started? What was started was what was received from the material department. So there was 5,000 gallons at the beginning inventory work in process. And then 60,000 gallons was received from the material department, and so it was started. 57,000 gallons of what was started was completed as well. And another 3,000 of what was started is still not finished and is in ending inventory. Therefore, to get the number of units that was started and completed during the period, we take the total amount of what was started and we subtract the ending inventory work in process, then we would get what was started and completed. Or we can take the balance that was completed and transferred out. Totally completed and transferred out, that's given in the problem, the 62,000 gallons. From that, we take out the 5,000 gallons, that's the beginning work in process inventory. And that gets us the 57,000 gallons started and completed during the period.